most everyone does have a cancer story. Cassie Wynn, Legislative Ambassador for the American Cancer Society. So when I was 16, I was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. I was in 4 different sports and in all these clubs, and all the meanwhile, I didn't know that I had a brain tumor. Unfortunately for my family, I was the first cancer story, so no cancer in my whole family. My parents, they didn't want to tell me until they thought I was ready. So they told me, and I just, when I heard that, I was just crying. I was temporarily paralyzed on my whole right side, and I couldn't feed myself, I couldn't write, and I couldn't walk either. I had 9 weeks of radiation and a year of chemo. I was in the hospital for 3 months straight, therefore I missed a year and a half of high school. I took extra classes and I was just determined. I said, I want to graduate on time with my classmates and walk, because I was in a wheelchair at the time. And then I grew a little bit more hair and went to a walker. Then I grew a little bit more hair and went to a cane. And I grew a little bit more hair, and then I was walking with no assistance and, most of my hair covered. I entered college and I applied for the American Cancer Society Young Cancer Survivor Scholarship. I am a legislative ambassador and I have been for 5 years. I just think American Cancer Society and Acs Can are great organizations. If you feel that you don't have a voice, you can join ACS or you can be a legislative ambassador and your voice will be heard. Yes, I'm an epitome of a survivor.
I'm excited to be a volunteer for the American Cancer Society. And I got involved because of actually taking care of cancer patients and seeing the changes that happen. My name is Dr. Clifford Eke. I'm the current president of the American Cancer Society California Division. The American Cancer Society is a nationwide or volunteer community-based organization that is working to end cancer through research, education, advocacy, and service.
I don't think people know exactly what we do in the world of advocacy. 100 years ago, the American Cancer Society was formed. About 40 years ago, California decided that we needed to gather as a group and work on policy. Then the American Cancer Society decided to form a stronger grassroots army of soldiers who can help us nationwide with stronger policy on a federal level.
In 2002, the Acs Can Legislative Ambassador Program was born with the first celebration on the Hill. 10,000 volunteers of the ACS met in Washington to make sure that our lawmakers know that cancer should be a national priority.
Our relay ambassadors represent thousands, and they are here to make all of those voices heard loud and clear.
We want them to make cancer a national legislative priority. We still have not won the war.
The battle for money in our nation's capital is often done with powerful lobbying.
The lawmakers began making decisions to fund the research as relates to cancer prevention, treatment, early detection, and survivorship.
There's no way American Cancer Society could make as much progress in the fight against cancer without survivors and volunteers like all of you.
There's just so much support. Your family, your friends, and the American Cancer Society, they're all fighting for you.
We want people to get involved before cancer involves them. The American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, or Acs Can, is volunteer-driven. It's driven by ambassadors. There's one in every congressional district throughout the nation. And we have a government relations office that's in DC. So we know that our lawmakers make decisions every day that have to do with cancer. Bottom line, is it going to save lives? Is this law going to save lives?
When they told my husband, you have cancer, they didn't ask him, are you a Democrat or a Republican?
All advocacy is news, letting people know about cancer.
A legislative ambassador works as an advocate. They contact, email government officials about the fight against cancer to pass bills or laws that will eradicate this awful disease, not just hope that it goes away.
What would make someone want to do this? I would say it's because they've had life experiences that said, you know what, maybe I can do something about this. Maybe I will join this army.
I lost 3 loved ones in my family. Later on in life, I met my wife, and she was an ambassador. I stood with her day by day, and that gave me a passion to go forward and to tell people about cancer and make a change in this world.
ACS Can is grassroots because we start at the local level. We're asking our ambassadors who know their area the best, what needs to be worked on and how can we help?
As an ambassador, we come together as a big family there at the meetings, and we get educated, and we spread that word out to people in the community. California is a surging state that all other states look up to.
State Lobby Day is where we go as California volunteers. We have our priorities that we're focused on for that visit with our members of Congress. We are the face of all of those people back home. And then National Lobby Day, which happens every September, is all of the volunteers nationwide.
The California division has led a lot of breakthroughs in terms of smoke-free laws, which has made tremendous impact. Now the nation is actually catching on and moving in that direction too.
There's stricter labeling on tobacco products and increase in tobacco tax nationwide, smoke-free workplaces, beaches, parks.
Don't let the tobacco companies win.
It's a matter of health, life and death.
Don't be driving in the car with the little one and smoke, because that is against the law. And it took legislative ambassadors to apply the pressure, and pressure comes from people, and people vote.
Even though ACS Can is nonpartisan, it makes sure that each of the candidates have a stand on cancer and cancer issues, and this is made public to us voters. And if you don't remind them constantly, we get forgotten.
Our message will be personal. It will be powerful. Lawmakers will hear our message loud and clear.
We've also worked on healthcare reform. Is it going to be affordable? Is it available? How is this going to affect cancer patients? Will our speaking to our lawmakers help them decide we need to fund cancer research? Let's not make cuts there. Which priorities are going to save the most lives?
We need funds so that they can do research, and without research, without the funds, we can't do anything.
The Affordable Care, for example.
Insurance companies would not pay for routine mammograms meant to screen for cancer.
We know that access to care is one of the barriers to cancer treatment. ACS can play the role in supporting it. And advocacy has made it so that it is standard of care if a woman wants reconstruction after a mastectomy to get the reconstruction.
We're not dealing with a whole series of numbers or statistics. We're dealing with real people.
We are going to beat this scourge, and we are going to overcome, and we are going to win this fight.
I think we have the potential to cure cancer, and I believe we will. When is hard to say, but with everything we're doing at all fronts, prevention, research, education, it is possible in our lifetime. And that's why we have to keep fighting. We cannot rest, because cancer doesn't rest. So really, we are grateful to the volunteers. Without them, the American Cancer Society would not be what it is today.
Be visible.
When I tell my cancer survivor story, I feel very proud. I feel I inspire others, and hopefully that can motivate them to want to fight against cancer also. So one law at a time, we're fighting.
We're not going to stop fighting. Yeah, you can't knock us down. We've got that family, and we are making such awesome change.
Cancer is political.
United, we're strong. We need all the soldiers that we can get.
Cancer votes.
Until we find a cure, we're not giving up. This army is only going to go stronger.
And one of these days, we're going to win. And it's just a matter of time.
Become an ambassador.
If one person can battle cancer, then a nation can rise up and defeat it.
ACS Can, C-A-N. We can do this.
Your story, your voice, your fight.
Join the movement.